guys, got another one to show you, and by the title it might look a little confusing to you, but this is my build number 15. I did this build back in May of 2019. It was the 15th build I ever did, and which would be more of a mod at that point because I didn't do anything custom dial related. But that said, it has traveled the world a little bit, and somebody needed some money and had it posted. Actually had a bunch of watches posted, and I recognized it right away. I recognized my work, and reached out and was able to pick it up, and made a few changes to it. The guy who had it before, he did put a couple scrapes into this bezel insert, and this bezel insert is from a buddy of mine, and it's not something you can just buy. So I replaced the bezel as a whole from when it was done before, and polishing the underside of it. So this is in a bead blasted case now. It was just in a 710 brushed case, and if you're like everybody else who brushes their 710, if you're not spending ample amount of time doing it while it's out of the nothing inside, even then it's hard to make it look perfect. And I thought mine was hard to make look perfect, and I worked on it for a while before I was sending this out to the new owner, and I decided, you know what, there was a thing that I did to escape that situation, and that was bead blasting. So now you've got a 710 bead blasted case on that. We kept the crown polish with the Komandirskie logo that matches the dial. It's under there. And then the red milgauss matches that on there too. So I thought keeping this polish would look nice because it matches that, matches the case back, matches this inside here. So this is a blue PVD bezel on there. It's on nice and tight, dude. Like, you can turn it, but it does not turn easily. So good news. I'm not a big fan of them turning too much, especially when you want it that way. Now, granted, that way that's set up, but just believe you me, don't use this one to time anything, because if you're wanting it to be nice and loose, you're going to have to pop this off and put something on there with like super low tension. This has very high tension on there. I kept obviously the dial's the same, the hands are the same, so it was white paddles with a red milgauss. The movement is the same, the crown's the same, the case back is the same, and this is one of my super old rotors. This was back before I was buying unbranded rotors, and just has my my signature lasered on there off to the side. So kept that the same because I thought that's pretty cool. But what we did do is this was on a shark mesh hybrid strap, and it had some nicks in it. The clasp had some nicks in it, and I thought, you know what, how about let's go with a fresh blue anno blue PVD. And this is an old style for mine. As you've seen on my most recent ones, I do BVW and a little box off to the side. So this, we kept it retro, retro from my builds, with the oversized Boctok, my logo in a circle, my signature down there, and then followed it up with one of my original boxes, which has the Boctok logo on there, and it's a slider box. Just goes in here and slides right on. So as you know, the boxes that I use now have the big lid to them. You can fit your watch in there much easier. But I kind of had to move into those bigger boxes when I was doing these bun straps and these bigger leather pieces, just because either that or make these deeper, because they were not holding the watch the way I wanted it to, the way I felt safe. So that is your build, sir. As you saw, your bezel will turn left, it'll turn right, it will destroy the side of your finger. Now that's not from that, that's just from in general of me winding watches. So I've got very side calloused fingers, so or finger. But that is your build. I hope you like it. I hope you like the upgrades that I did to it versus when it originally went out. But automatic mechanical, so you can wind it, you can wear it, you can put it on a watch winder to keep the time. But if it's completely dead, or you're not going to be very active, you want to pre-wind it for 4 or 5 seconds just to make sure you're not losing time through the day. And how you do that is you back the threads off with your crown until you hear it clicking, but you also feel a little bit of play in there. You know it's off those, because there's a couple threads that you can hear it clicking, but you're not off yet. So you want to have that play. At that point you can wind, and a wind is a turn away from you. Turning back does nothing, but it's a lot easier to keep that spacing and just go back and forth. So this is the 4 or 5 seconds worth. If you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, even if you're not very active, you will keep time on it. And if you do it for something closer to 20 seconds, you'll max out your 31-hour power reserve. You can't overwind it, so you can wind this all day. You'll find ways to wind it faster, which I can do a lot more turn with my thumb. If you pull to the one and only click, you can now set your time. Now, it's the 18th, and I'm not going to take away Mr. Welch's fun time of bringing this up to current, but I will show you how you do that. So you can see this has a 24-hour wheel on there. When it's black, it's nighttime, obviously, and the numbers also correlate with what's dark, right? But you can see it changed over to 19, right? So how can you get it to 20? Well, there's no quick date set, but if you go backwards around 9, you'll see that 19 is kind of dipping off to the side, and then it recenters. I go ahead and take it back to 8 just to make sure. If you re-advance it back to 12, there you go, it's advanced. So there's 20. That is your quick date set. And as you can see, it's quick. Not as quick as modern day watches, but it wasn't broke. There was no need to fix it, and they haven't fixed it. There's 23. So, okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 3:23 p.m.
3:23 p.m. And you also notice that you've got a wobble crown. It's going to deflect lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement. So you've got some flex there. So I pull on it and keep that tension, keep it straight. If you fall down into here, you're not going to be winding it or setting it, because you can go from winding it to setting it, but you cannot go from setting it back to winding it unless you re-engage the clutch by screwing it back down. So to make sure I'm out of there, I just pull it and hold some tension there. I don't remember the time. Okay, Google, what time was it?
It's 3:23 p.m.
3:23. Okay, actually, after I said that, I thought that was about right. It also makes it nice and easy to push right back over and thread down. There's your build, sir. I hope you like it. It has traveled the world a bit. I hope you like that presentation on there. Also, some color matching beads. Whether you want to be cool and wear them is completely up to you. You are not forced to, but it would be cooler if you did. As I showed you, you get the cool vintage white stained BBW Boctok box. White to go with the white hands. Every build comes with watch cleaner, which is going to be good on all glass and metal parts, which is this whole watch. Non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue. You're also going to have some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 repackaged. I get this off of Amazon and then buy these little tubes and refill them. Or not refill them, just fill them. They weren't filled with anything before. This is basically Polywatch. And this is an acrylic glass. You can scratch it, and if you do, you just put a little bit on that scratch and buff it out. Buff against that scratch to fill it, and then generate some heat with your thumb behind your microfiber, and in about 15 seconds that scratch will be gone. You just want to use what you need for that scratch, because the rest is going to soak into the rag or get pushed around your bezel. You just need a little bit. You're just filling a tiny scratch, so you can imagine how much liquid you need to fill that, or liquid-esque substance. So that is your build, sir. I hope you love it. I appreciate that you liked it and that you wanted it in the collection. So I appreciate you, man. If you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe, as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.